Okay, so these two lines on here, we've drawn a base that we call your sort of swing plane lines. Okay, so what we want to see is that club sort of swinging up and around the body. If we were looking from sort of this direction, what we would see is like a circle around the body, like that, looking face on as your golf swing swings around, and you're going to swing on that green line on a sort of constant basis. Okay, so as the club swings around your body, it's the same sort of angle. So before, club went back, okay, as you came back in the golf ball with no cone here to worry about missing, you swing through, would have gone through that cone, and you'll see the club now exit very, very low towards your left sort of elbow here, now popping out very, very low, a lot flatter and more swiping around the body sort of sensation, as opposed to more up and down. The right hand one now, as we go back, if we look at the takeaway, as we said, your takeaway now is there. So the club's a lot more on line of sight. It's a smidgen open, as we said, but compared to where it was sort of disappearing behind the screen there and wide open over there, it's a massive improvement. Okay, top of the backswing here now, good. Okay, as we start coming back down, that club now is coming back in. Hands are working down that green line nicely. Okay, club at this point now over the toe line, absolutely perfect. Hence, this is a good shot. Strike of the golf ball, and as the club then misses the cone, the club now you can see working up that green line, and if you see when it comes up the other side of your body, it's working up that green line there. So we're kind of swinging what we call on plane rather than lunging. And look at those sort of same position there with the club. If I clear all these lines, club's over your left, look at your left elbow popping out, because you're trying to pull the heck out of it to stop it going over there, which you had to do in years past because you had the club face like this. So your two ways to stop the golf ball from going that direction there is either pull it left with the arms or try and flick your hands over. When you played a lot of golf and you were timing it well, because you can play golf, good hand-eye coordination, obviously squash and all the background you've got, you could play 10, 12, 13 holes quite well, but then the 6, 7 holes where it didn't quite click, it'd be a blob, or 8, 9 times something stupid. Okay?
Like hole number 4?
Precisely, exactly. So if we can try to, what we're looking at long term, sort of the goal is more of a small, simpler swing that's basically sort of going up and down around your body rather than in and open, up and then over the top, and,
no, you don't want
and that way. It's just not repeatable. Exactly. I mean, you look at the likes of, say, Jim Furyk, the guys with funky swings, they're hitting thousands of balls a day, and they've done it for 50 years or whatever, 40 years. So their swing is kind of set in stone now to a point, and it's something they do themselves. For the average club golfer, you kind of want your swing to be kind of as universal as possible, so the less moving parts or less change of directions in the golf swing, the better.
Yeah.
And you're getting 100 yards now with basically what feels to a flick wedge, which is how far I'd expect someone of your sort of size and stature to hit a wedge. Whereas before, when you try to smash it with an 8 or a 9 iron, it was going about 100 yards, when it's going so high up in the air because the face being open and you scything across it, that left elbow pulling out the side of the body there. If that left elbow is popping out here, as you can see, that's just you now pulling that club to the left, chopping underneath it. So a weaker, softer shot.
That bit there is made more difference than all the other stuff I've done.
Well, to be fair, because exactly, it's a jigsaw and stuff. I mean, you could argue that the last piece of the jigsaw makes the biggest difference because it completes it. Yeah. But so does the first bit, the 10th bit, the 400th bit. They're all the same value.
And you've got to make sure those bits are in the right place.
Precisely. If you put the middle bit in first, when you finish it, well, there you go. Oh, well, that look like? Oh, it doesn't look very good, does it? Yeah. So you got it's completing the jigsaw.
Top of the backswing, what's that like then?
Top of your backswing, yeah.
Still alright.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the thing is, if you went, you're not going back that far. That's the impressive thing. You're only going back 2/3, 3/4, which is to a wedge doesn't matter anyway, because you're not in a full wedge anyway. But you're only going back that far. You're maximising the efficiency of strike because your direction's much better. And it's going 100 yards with basically an arms and a half swing. So that just shows the power is there and the strength is there. But if you're scything across and pulling, you're losing power.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, mate.
Nice one.
Excellent, mate.